want to offer my condolences to to Ryan's family and his mother Melanie and his high school coach Sean and Ryan Preston. There was a guy from South Shore, Brooklyn that we recruited to Rhode Island and overcame amazing challenges that he faced growing up, and such a tragic loss of life, and for a guy who was born into circumstances that most people would never be able to overcome, and the way he thrived at Rhode Island at that great place and great university and that community, and under the tutelage and mentoring of David Cox to be a graduate and to have a professional career overseas and be building an amazing life for himself. What a tragic loss, and prayers and thoughts daily for the rest of my life to him and his unbelievable mother Melanie, an unbelievable strong woman, and Sean, his high school coach. You have any questions about the game?
When Andres can make some jump shots, he can do so many things. How much more dangerous does that make him when he's doing that as well as everything else he does?
Yeah, I think everyone will focus on that, obviously, because that's the big question mark, and it's something that he's had to deal with for his career. But it just was about he was in all the right spots defensively. He was flying around. I mean, making just impact-winning plays. I mean, yeah, there are some things that we'll be able to do in games where he's not making shots. Things, that will, unveil. Obviously, as the season progresses and as the opponents change. But it was about his energy and his integrity on defense and the way that he was just all over the court. I mean, that's his superpower. And he was just all over the court. Now, if he throws in a couple threes, that's obviously, and you can see his technique, his free throw shooting, his sound. He's got a pretty nice release. That was an important night for him.
Rejecting an LIU dunk, I mean, have you seen that often over the years from anyone else? And I guess that's just athleticism and anticipation there, right?
Yeah, he's got rare athletic gifts. I mean, he's at the top. He's by far the best athlete I've ever coached. Speed, quickness, above the rim. I mean, it's a joke what he can do. And he's physically strong. And he's an intense individual. So he does freakish things all the time. A lot of clips that we can't put on social media from practice because the guy that he did it to would not recover.
Coach, one of the things you said about Andre was that the first couple of games he was a bit of a perfectionist and that it was kind of hard for him to get into the flow of things. What did you mark that was different about the way he approached tonight?
I just think it's all about what he's doing at the defensive end of the court, Andre. He knows when he makes mistakes defensively. He knows that his energy and his defense and getting on both backboards and getting out in transition has got to be where his game begins. And then obviously the other elements will surface: his ability to get to his floater, his ability to step into a three. But it's just when he is consistently that type of disruptive defender, almost like a shutdown corner in the NFL, who just makes all these big plays defensively, he's going to start feeling good about himself, and it's going to lead to really good things on offense.
And just as hard as Andre worked on his shooting through the summer, spring and summer, and then he passed up a few the first couple of games, just to see that first one go in. Did you feel like it was maybe the weight was off his shoulders a little bit, and it freed him up to do all the other things he could do?
At what point did he hit that three?
Second time.
Second. Yeah, they came out and played like, some type of triangle two, and they didn't guard Isaiah or him, so, yeah, I mean, that definitely helped, but I think he just is, I got the text, texted Luke after the game on Saturday, where we're against Coppin, where he wasn't very good, and he talked about his focus, he talked about his concentration, he talked about his identity. So I just think he was in a great mind space today. Whether he made the first three or not, but it certainly had to feel good for him.
And was this maybe the kind of game where you're looking at him and thinking, that's the guy that we thought?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, as a head coach, you hitch your wagons, to these guys that you believe in, these recruits that, you have guys like James, leaving early, and you have to have your program class by class loaded with players, so that, because a lot of these guys are 2 or 3 year players potentially, so yeah, if you blow it in a class, I mean, it's bad. So yeah, I mean, that was like what you hoped Andre would be. I think he's capable of more too than that. But
Andre wasn't the only player that you stuck with after a tough start. Tyler had also started off pretty poorly, and he kind of redeemed himself today because you kept going at him.
Yeah. We need Tyler. I mean, we need the shooting. Obviously, Jordan coming back, being able to get like 8, getting those 8 minutes under his belt there. I think we wanted to give him some second half time. Obviously, if he comes at it today, we'll get him, get him in earlier next game. But Tyler's a critical guy. I mean, that 3-point shooting is a weapon. He's got to try and put less pressure on himself. He's a critical player. I mean, again, we're trotting out there 8 starters, and then obviously Jordan, with where we're at currently, becomes, it gives us a really, really strong 9-man rotation. And also say too, Isaiah Whaley, we didn't start winning here until that guy got in the lineup. Last third of year 2 here, and the way that guy rehabbed and got himself and dragged himself out on the court, probably about 80% today. But that guy's so critically important to us winning, and to the way this program has changed. Just really proud of the Rich.
Hi Dan, the minutes you got from Jordan, what did you see out of those, and what are you kind of telling him after that?
You see a guy who just moves. He moves like a big time player. Just got that length, and he's got that movement. He was a little rushed there, but you can see the athleticism. You see that clean shooting ability in terms of his form, and we expect him. This gives him a chance to be a factor for us. Potentially heading out to the Bahamas. The fact that he was able to get some minutes, build on those minutes next game, and then hopefully that puts him in a position where he can step into those high leverage games.
You built this team on a defensive identity. How did you feel about defense overall that kept you in the game in the first 15 minutes and then the shots finally started falling?
Yeah, I tried to warn our guys about Conte. I mean, this is a guy that, was a significant player at Georgia, a significant player at Hofstra, and he could really play. And he's a load, and he's not the type of guy that that if you take lightly. So we tried to prepare our guys, but I don't think that they, maybe showed him the respect in terms of pre-catch, post-defense in the first half. We made multiple mistakes that we did. I thought a great job preparing the guys for. So we were immature that way. But you defend and rebound at a high level. You give yourself a chance to win every single night. And we want to be a top 10, top 15 defensive team, a top 10. Top 15 rebounding team, and if we do those things, we pretty much ensure ourselves we're going to have a really good year, potentially a great year.
Yeah, margin of victory isn't everything, but do you like the way in the 3 games you kind of kept the pressure on throughout? You know, only minor hiccups here, or something like 55-18 in the second half, or does that kind of astound you, numbers like that?
I mean, yeah, well, not really. We have high expectations for the team, and we should systematically, in games like this, we should systematically, not necessarily because we're just more talented, more athletic, but if you understand what's happening out there, our guys are in the right spots. We talk a lot. Great teams talk a lot. So we're talking a lot. Well, we're in the right spots. This is an older, mature team that understands what's at stake, and I think they look around college basketball right now and see a lot of parity across the board. Even when you look at the top teams right now, and that's what they want to be.
When you're struggling a little bit offensively, how important is to have guys like Jalen and Tyler to come off the bench to kind of give you a little bit of lift to get you going?
Yeah, I mean, that helps a lot. I just think the maturity as a program, Tyrese played one of the more mature games you see a guy play. I mean, Tyrese, 4 for 4 from the field, knew he had the matchup with Flowers, who, preseason player of the year in the league, and he knew he was going to expend a lot of energy at the defensive end, so gave up a little bit of his offense and played really, really smart and did a little bit of everything. And I just think that's, again, the strength of the team. I think, Adama, obviously in foul trouble, has probably one of the worst games he'll play the whole year, but 5 guys in doubles. So.
Dan, I think he had 10 block shots today, held him to 14 field goals. Can you just talk about that interior defense and what leads to those blocks?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts at the 3-point line. We're obviously we recruit to it, and we want to take away the 3-point line from our opponents. We then want to funnel them with pressure and get them a little out of control, and then we bring a lot of size and length and guys that can block shots at the rim, and it also helps when your wings are 6'6", 6'7", to go along with your 4s and 5s who could all contest things at the rim. But it really all starts at the 3-point line, and just trying to completely take that away from your opponent.
Anything you can tell us about how you're doing?
What's that?
I know you missed one of the meeting yesterday. You're obviously doing okay, I guess, right?
It's a HIPAA violation if I say something about
Well, it's you, so you can.
I think you can talk about your own if you want to.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. We've had a bad couple days. Ryan hit hard. I've had some minor health stuff. Got some incredible doctors, medical people in the state, Jeff Flax, people at UConn and UConn Health, Dr. Dina, Dr. Piakowski. A lot of people took care of it. Just to get so many unbelievable people that live in the state that just take great care of you. So it's an unbelievable place to live. But it led a rough couple days. Some health stuff with Ryan, Preston, hit hard. So.
And Matt Gary finally did this one.
Yeah, I was going to say too, it's thank God. I mean, because that was weighing on all of us. It's turned the last 2-3 minutes, it's been more stressful than almost the first 37. I mean, just he needed a bite. He's such a great guy, and he has so much pride in playing, here, Southington guy. He just needed to score, and, unbelievable.
Good guy.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to hear.